It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, blockbuster season is upon us, and that means I get to watch movies about giant monkeys punching giant lizards. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. That's the one.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Well, too bad, overacting Japanese politician, because that's what you're getting. Enjoy yourself! First things first, there's some pretty offensive footage from the original King Kong vs Godzilla used in this review. This series of movies has always had a rocky relationship with how it depicts natives, and unsurprisingly, that one was no different. Just a heads up. I didn't watch Godzilla King of the Monsters. It seemed bad, and frankly, I watch enough dodgy movies as it is. So, going into Warner Brothers' fourth installment in the self-titled Monsterverse, I was out of touch with many intricacies of the overarching narrative. It was fortunate then that this movie appears not to have had much of a script, despite what writers Eric Pearson and Max Borenstein would have you think. This is overwhelmingly a movie about big monsters fighting each other, while the definitely not evil Apex Cybernetics get up to all kinds of shady business revolving around a separate world at the centre of our own, wherein lies a power source that they wish to acquire to do stuff. It doesn't matter. Kong and Godzilla are there to punch each other periodically. Apex are clearly the bad guys, and most of the rest of the cast exists to propel the movie towards its next fight scene. To call them two-dimensional would be overly charitable. Not one of them has anything even remotely resembling an arc, and to its credit, the movie seems to recognise this. Rarely does director Adam Wingard attempt to force any sense of sentimentality by placing these characters in danger, and then hoping that the audience forget that they don't care about them. I say rarely because it does happen at least once, in a moment so utterly ridiculous that it actually became funny. And while most of the cast of characters range from inoffensive to boring, I need to make mention of Millie Bobby Brown, whose spunky science genius kid gets an awful lot of screen time for someone who feels totally miscast. Engaging as she is in corporate espionage with her comic relief friend and old alcoholic conspiracy theorist, also comic relief, there are plenty of opportunities for her to quip and be a smartass, and generally speaking, not one of them really works. She's the closest thing this movie has to a lead, though it's really more of an ensemble, and it feels as if she's in it purely because the producers liked Stranger Things rather than because she fits the role. With a pretty weak cast only accentuated by fixating on arguably the worst performer, this is without a doubt one of the biggest marks against the movie. Although I will say that at least a resolution to make its characters and human drama as generic and basic as possible avoided scenes like this travesty.
You better not smoke it around home.
Yikes. Don't even know where to begin with this. Suffice to say that at the very least, this movie manages to avoid some of the horrifically dated Orientalism or outright racism of the original. So yes, human drama, out the window. If you're here for compelling characters or any kind of drama, then you'd be better off going and watching Kong Skull Island, or the Roland Emmerich Godzilla if you're in the mood for self-flagellation. And yes, I am mentioning that movie purely so I can use 10 seconds of the awesome Jamiroquai theme song before he comes and punches me. And that's enough of that. There is a reason I'm mentioning the more positive production elements of older Godzilla movies, and it's because Godzilla vs Kong actually kind of rules in this department too. The score is a really striking rework of musical motifs from the original 1954 Godzilla movie and textbook Hollywood bombast, with enough self-awareness to completely change gears into hyper-cheesy synthwave territory when the reveal of a certain someone occurs, only to seamlessly switch back later. And the general aesthetic is one of a movie which absolutely knows how dumb it is, which doesn't altogether excuse the dumbness, but does at least make it a little more palatable. Characters embark on a literal journey to the centre of the Earth wearing matching golden jumpsuits in a ship full of pointless red LED piping and blinking lights like a 70s Star Trek movie, and not one of them questions how ridiculous they look. They bring a small child with them because she's Kong's friend, and never is it mentioned that it might make more sense for the little girl to not jump through a portal that instantaneously crushed everyone aboard the last ship to traverse it. It's that kind of movie. And honestly, for the most part, I was fine with that. This movie isn't trying to be an Oscar-contending drama, it knows exactly what it is and for the most part goes about fulfilling its limited ambitions competently. Case in point, the fight scenes are the star of the show. It's rare to see a movie in 2021 and be blown away by a sense of spectacle given how common high-quality spectacle is now, but this managed it. I mean, look at that. Isn't that great? Ah shit, that's the wrong one again, isn't it? From Godzilla and Kong duking it out across cargo ships and aircraft carriers in the middle of the ocean to their stunningly photogenic clash among the neon-hued buildings of Hong Kong, it feels as if Wingard was well aware of how this movie was going to earn its plaudits and put the majority of his focus into making the fight scenes as exciting as possible, and he succeeded. These are undoubtedly some of the best in this instalment of movies, and arguably some of the best in any non-Marvel blockbuster of the last 4 or 5 years. Ultimately, I get the sense that Godzilla vs Kong achieved exactly what it set out to. It's as dumb as a bag of rocks and as fun as a roller coaster, but it's ephemeral and surface level, and I don't say that dismissively. If you're looking for a fun way to spend 2 hours, then this will absolutely do the trick. Just don't expect it to leave you with any enduring feelings other than, that was pretty cool. But honestly, sometimes pretty cool is enough. Thank you for joining us here for Movie Reviews with Konrad. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated, and how about subscribing to check out the rest of the content we produce here at the Culture Cave. I've been Konrad, and I'll see you next time.